Okay, so plying 101. So this is the rack I was talking about. Now you can see there is 3 holders for the bobbins. What you do is you gently put them on like so. Then you'd have as many as you want, up to 3. And then you would have that standing on the ground when you were then plying. Now, the reason why there's only 3, even though you can easily get up to 10 ply, is very simple. You really don't want 10 threads at once to focus on the wheel, such as this. In general, that's just a bad idea. So what you would do is you would usually do only 2 ply at a time. So that means you would have 2 bobbins on here and you would ply them together on a 3rd bobbin here. And now you would continue doing that with a couple of bobbins, and then you would then take those 2 plies and then combine them up to the number that you needed. So if I wanted 4 ply example, I would use 2 2-ply bobbins and I would combine those, ply them together, and then get my 4 ply. That way you avoid a lot of confusion, you avoid a lot of problems you can have, and then you end up with a much larger ply. Now, the reason why I will not be doing this is because this wheel is not made to do thick threads. It can only really do the thin ones, so the max it's screwed up to is maybe pushing it a small 3 ply, but generally 2 ply is the most this little baby can handle, which is fine because the majority of what I'll be using anyway is about 2 ply. Now, instead of using multiple of these, what I want to do is combine this with this. Now this one here is 100% acrylic. It's a high quality acrylic, which is why I adore the opals. They're reasonably priced. Now this one is an 8 ply, and as you can see that is about as thin as my 1 ply, which tells you a little bit about my hand spinning is, well, it's good, but it's not that easy. So we're going to be using those today. Luckily, as I showed you earlier, these are on it, so I don't actually need to add a whole lot. I can have them on here and then simply apply it up here. And then I take this, simply unwind it. Where is the end? Aha. Oh, there we go. There we go, like so. Now, in order to ply something, you again, of course, need to have a string on your bobbin, which I have here. It's just an ugly old string. But the difference is, and this is the main difference, you spin the other way around to create tension and prevent it from ending up in just one huge messy knot. So you take one of these, take one of these, make sure they don't cross because that can be a real bother. Take one of these, one of these. Now, it's important to remember to spin the opposite direction. So what I want to do is spin it that way, and then see it's grabbing onto there, and gently push it through. We're going to need to tighten that baby up a little bit. Wonder why that's not. There we go. Now again, you want to work from the back of this to the front. Especially now that you have a thicker thread, it's going to be a little bit more tricky to get it on there. And as you can see, I hold my hand by my hip, and I use this hand to control how many spin turns on the thread, exactly how intricate I want it. And this just makes sure that there's no problems with the 2 threads going in. Making sure they're nice and straight. There's no knots. There's no unwanted things on it, and it keeps them aligned. Especially since you can see here, I have little corkscrews on mine, like that one. They're not bad. And you won't know they were over there once I'm done plying it. But if you don't stretch it out, see, before you get to this point. What you will end up with is a thick knot. And this one can't actually suck in the knots past all of these and onto the bobbin. So you just want to be careful, keep everything straightened out, make sure it has a proper chance, and then end up with these beautiful little patterns. Now once this is done, I am going to show you how to then treat it, wash it, dip it, treat it, finish the completion of it, and then how to dry it. And then later on I'm going to show you how I'm going to dye it, and hopefully we'll end up with a really cool result that we can use for the final product. Now just quickly gonna put this on here, because otherwise that spin runs straight along here and it creates a heck of a knot. So just put it on there. Yeah, see you in a bit.